Back. Let's see if I go if going live it works for me. And if it doesn't, I will be posting something else over here. I got a recording over here, and I have you here on my live. And if you can hear me, hello there. The series that I want to do, I want to talk about a couple of things during this time with you. Maybe once a week, maybe more. I'm not 100% sure of how often I'm going to show up. It depends on what this first day does. And if not, everything else will be pre-recorded and uploaded, and I will let you know when it comes out, right? So the things that I want to be talking about is the power of intentional living, wisdom of having a village, and the power of being you. Self-awareness is always a beautiful thing. So you're going to see me looking from here to here because I have something else, taping simultaneously. But today, ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about, I should have had my other stuff. Oh my gosh. But, this is what happens when you live. So, today, what I wanted to talk about was if you're living on autopilot and how to know if you are. If you are living on autopilot, let's just, first of all, how to know if you're living on autopilot. That's number one. And how to break free from it. That's number two. So, how to know if you're living your life on autopilot and how to fix it. So, let's talk about the first thing. First things first. The problem is you're in survival. You're in survival mode. You've accepted that life has to be this way. Like, you feel like life has to be that way. And the truth is, it doesn't. Life literally does not have to be that way. You know what? I wish I had that damn song on cue because I would play it. But the literal version of that you can visualize is from The Wiz. Yeah, with Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow. He literally was on that pole, and the scarecrows had him thinking that he could never get out, he could never do anything, and his own thinking became that way too, even though he read the little things that was in his self. He read what these famous writers were telling him, and he was telling it to them, and they were laughing at him. They're like, "Oh, don't you know you crazy, man? Don't you know you dumb?" And those are the things that had him tripping, and their song, their theme song, "You can't win, child. You can't win. You can't get out of the game." Now, I can't think of all the lyrics. I mean, I know it when it's on. When it's on, oh, man, I could sing that whole shit. But right now, I can't think of it. But you get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm talking about when I say, I didn't switch camera positions. I'm looking over here now. I look cute. Nah. So you're literally living on autopilot. You're literally thinking that you can't win, that you can't get out of the game, that you have to stay stagnant and just like, this has to be this way. But it's not true. You lack mindfulness. You will notice that you are often not fully present. Like, even right now during this live, you're like listening, but you're not. You know, like you're half here, half gone. You're not fully present in the moment of the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are preoccupied with the thoughts of all your past whatever, all your past behaviors, past bad judgments, past whatever you want to fill in the blank for. That's what you were thinking about. And or you're thinking about the future, the far, far away future that has is nowhere in sight. And you're thinking about those things, and you're thinking about that, and you're like in a whole nother dimension with your thoughts. And it is something that's not, you can't be present for. Repetitive actions. You find yourself doing things day in and day out. It's like you're living the same day over and over and over, and you don't have any variations or any excitement whatsoever. It's literally mundane. Monday, you know you having meatballs. Tuesday, you know you having tacos. Wednesday, you know you having chicken wings. Thursday, you having some kind of roast. You roasting some chicken. Friday is Freedom Friday. You going out to somebody's fast food restaurant because you ain't cooking today, because you done had all week. You was doing whatever. Saturday, you got frozen pizza or something. And then Sunday, you know you're cooking some kind of roast. Either it's going to be a pork roast or it's going to be a beef roast. You know that you're going to have a rump roast up in there, and that's it. And that's all. It's down to a science where you know exactly what you're getting from the store. You know exactly how much money you're spending. You know exactly down to the penny. And there's no varying away from the list. Because you got the list. Because every time you cook the chicken wings on Wednesday night, after you done made those chicken wings, you going over to the list and writing chicken wings on the list. And you have no energy. You have little to no energy for anything in your life. Like when your day is done, because you're so automated that you can't keep your eyes open past 8 o'clock because you need to be in the bed. Because you know you got to start that day over. And that's just the way it is. You're exhausted. You have no energy. You have the lack of patience. You don't have no patience for no shit. For no nothing. You don't have no patience for nothing extra. No patience, no time for that. You won't allow anything extra in your life. You literally shut out the good and the bad. Like you don't know how to identify one from the other, so both of them just go out the window. And you have a hard time with change and transitions, and you have the biggest fear of something new. You have such a fear of new things. You're in survival mode. We talked about that. We talked about the mindfulness. You have no energy. You might feel like you have a lack of purpose. But let's talk about how to break free from that. First of all, you have to live more intentionally. You have to be intentional about your day. when you wake up, have an intention on having a good day. Have a set intention on something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, break away from normal things. Trust yourself. You have to be able to trust yourself more, and trust that you can make good decisions about living a good life and living a good day, you know? Be present in whatever it is you're doing. So if you're with your kids, actually be present with the children, listening to them, engaging in whatever conversation or whatever it is that you're doing. Have an intention behind to be present. If you with your man, like, be present, listen, understand. You know what I'm saying? Listen to understand and not to react. At work too. Trust yourself more. Embrace your emotions. Allow yourself, and this is hard for people, allow yourself to feel your emotions. Process it without judgment. Like, don't judge yourself for how you feel, because your feelings are valid. I used to tell it to my kids all the time. I used to be like, you know, like, my mother didn't understand how I wanted to raise my children and how come I wanted them to have a voice and an opinion. My mother's like, my kids ain't never gonna have no opinion. And I was like, yeah, we did. I did, and I should have had my face slapped off a lot. I shouldn't have no face right now, because when I was a kid, my mother, we were supposed to go to Great Adventures, and my sister was out all night in the streets, my oldest sister, and my mother wanted to lock her in the house because she wanted that was her form of punishment. And so I said, well, if you're going to lock her in the house, you might as well lock me in the house too. She was like, well, I'll let her be outside. I said, well, if you're going to let her be outside, then I'm going to stay home with her, and I'm going to be outside too. And I said something else that's not for here. And my face should have been slapped off. But the truth of the matter is, she could be punished at this amusement park. She was up and out all night. She could get the little 2 hours of the sleep, and then she'll have to stay her ass awake the rest of the time. But if she can't go, then I don't want to go. And if you're going to lock her in, you're locking me in too. So I stood my ground, and I should have gotten my face slapped off, perhaps. I don't know. But my feelings were valid, no matter what the situation was. And your feelings are valid, no matter what the situation is and how you feel at all. Your feelings are your feelings, and it doesn't make anything else that's happening around you any less important or more important than how you feel. And I think that a lot of people do not process their emotions without judging themselves. They're so quick to judge themselves. And grow self-awareness. Like, be aware of yourself and what makes you feel the way you feel and how you process things, and learn how to do things the way you need to do them. I think I'm going to come back live, and I'm going to do a longer session if my lives are working, because right now I don't know. But for now, I only can do these little short 15-minute videos to upload for you. So I'm going to continue talking over here, and if this works, then I'm going to post this. But if not, just hit me in my DMs if you want more information, or if you need to know how to work with me, because we need to be living more intentional. The soft life requires it. And just remember, it is deeper than self-care. I've been your girl, Tiffany, and I'm a peak performance mindset strategist, and I will help you literally go deeper within. So, until next time, peace. Okay, so now I'm going to continue with you, because I don't know if this is going to actually stay live, or if it's actually going to play, or if it's not going to play. So I'm just going to finish it here. But literally, most people really do not process their own emotions and give their own self validation and judgment free validation of their own self. Like, all of us are self-critical, and we're very, 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 very hard on ourselves, myself included. I'm very hard on myself. I've been hard on myself a lot about a lot of different things. And the truth of the matter is, my feelings are valid no matter what is going on around me. So if I feel like I'm being neglected by my man and he has problems of his own with his own kids or whatever, let's just say, let's just use that as an example, and I'm feeling all fucked up and he has things to deal with and I have to be put to the side a little bit, that doesn't make what I'm feeling any less important than what he has to handle right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Or for yourself, if I'm feeling all fucked up and I have all of these fleeting feelings, or I'm down and but one of my kids absolutely need me for something, they in a hospital or something like that, I have to sit with my feelings. I have to know them. I have to understand it, and I have to, it's valid. It's feelings. It's real. But sometimes you have to put them down for a second, hold it 90 seconds or so, be mad, be sad, be crying, or whatever the hell, and then shake it off and go ahead and do something else. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we need those things too. And it's just, it's hard. It's hard to navigate sometimes. It be's hard, and it gets that way sometimes. But again, if you feel like you're in survival mode and you're accepted that your life has to be this way, you're lacking mindfulness, and you are not fully present in the moment, your repetitive actions, and you have repetitive actions where you know exactly what you're going to have to eat every single day of the week. You know exactly how much money is going out for that food. Soon as one thing run out, you putting it right back on the list because you don't vary from the list. You ignore your emotions because you don't want to feel anything. You just want to be numb and go through those days. You don't have any energy for anything. You are burnt out, exhausted. You lack patience. You lack the space to allow anything extra in your life, and you shut things in. You shut good and bad out. You may even feel a lack of purpose, and you feel like you're living your life without a sense of direction. If those things resonate with you and you feel that that's who you are, then you're probably living your life in autopilot. And to snap out of that, you must break free from living on autopilot by living more intentionally. Do something new. Trust yourself more. Grow your self-awareness. And doing those things will make you feel so much better about your life and being more intentional. You give yourself the permission. A lot of the times we don't give ourselves the permission to, first of all, feel our feelings, accept that our feelings are valid, express those feelings that you are, feeling valid about, give yourself permission to be more aware of what you really want, really like, really feel. those are, I mean, what more can I say? If you feel like this is something that you need for yourself, or you think that someone else needs to hear this message, feel free to send this out, tag somebody in it. And if you feel like you need more, or you want to learn more about living on autopilot and how to not live on autopilot anymore, then DM me, Autopilot, and I will share more information on how you can work with me or resources that you can use. And yeah, so I'll be back. Hopefully this is not going to go to the wayside, and I'll be able to do that. But before I go, I wanted to tell you that I'm Tiffany Hurd, and I am a peak performance mindset strategist, and I empower your transformation through fearless self-discovery, guiding individuals to embrace change, authenticity, and living intentionally, and also raising emotionally healthy children. I know that's a mouthful, but that's what I do. So, until next time, peace.